Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin with breaking news for you tonight. One person has been killed after a train and pedestrian collide. It happened in the 1600 block of Main Avenue in Moorhead.
The crash occurred around 4:30. Currently, the Moorhead Police Department and BNSF police are actively investigating, or BNSF crews rather. The incident has forced traffic to be significantly affected. The train is blocking several crossings. Drivers are asked to use alternate routes. And of course, stick with Valley News Live for more information as this story develops.
I feel like I don't deserve life or breath for all the harm and hurt that I've caused so many people. My heart and soul ache for how I have allowed my actions to occur.
A former West Fargo school teacher will spend the next 10 years in jail, another 5 years of supervised probation for her conviction on 6 separate charges of sex-related crimes involving students.
37-year-old Shannon Mosier will also have to register as a sex offender. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley was in the courtroom during sentencing and talked with a former student of Mosier who says she deserves the sentence she got.
So to the boys and their families, I am truly sorry.
A tearful and emotional apology came from Shannon Mosier this morning, asking for forgiveness and some leniency when it came to her sentence.
I do know, however, I don't deserve that opportunity.
I talked with several of Mosier's former students today, all saying the same. She deserves it.
There was so many victims, and they were kids in my grade, and that's just shocking. And I think she needed this. She needed 10 years, 15 years, however long. She just needed it.
This student wanted to remain anonymous for her safety, adding that she had a special bond with Mosier, turning to her in hard times and good, only to have it ruined by Mosier's actions.
I wish that this never have happened. I wish that I still could talk to her and we could still be close and everything like that, but I can't, and it kind of breaks my heart.
Adding that although she misses the role model she once had, her wounds haven't quite healed yet.
It's definitely taken some time to forgive her. I wouldn't say I'm 100% there yet, but I am better.
Hoping time and reflection changes Mosier into the person she knew and trusted.
I always thought, this is a teacher that, really cares about me and for my future, and just something happened where she couldn't stop it from happening. She could, but she didn't.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
A sister of one of the victims says she believes that Mosier's sentence isn't long enough and that she deserves life in prison.
Our new week is starting out with a few showers and the chance for colder weather. Let's get the very latest on what we can expect tonight from Hutch. Hutch?
Thanks, Mike. If you're stepping outdoors this evening, we do see some rain on the radar, mainly in eastern portions of North Dakota through Lakes Country. Northwest Minnesota remaining dry for now. And moving in tonight will be those showers here in the FM area starting within the hour, and it does look fairly light for now. Wind fairly light and temperatures warm enough for rain for now as well. Grand Forks a little colder, and it does look like this rain will mix with and change over to snow as we go through the overnight hours out in Lakes Country. That may impact your trip to the polls depending on what time you're going. I'll have hour-by-hour details on what you can expect in the time frame you are expecting to go vote here in a few moments.
All right, we'll look forward to that information. Thanks.
A former Burleigh County Sheriff's deputy accused of stealing evidence from drug cases has pleaded guilty to felony theft and misdemeanor drug possession under a conditional agreement. Officials say that a misdemeanor theft count against Kerry Komrosky was dismissed. Komrosky was charged in April after investigators reportedly found about 3 pounds of meth and 47 grams of cocaine in his home. He later resigned.
Still no word on the condition of a young boy who was flown to a Fargo hospital after being hit by a car. It happened in Langdon this morning just before 8 o'clock. Police say the 5-year-old boy was crossing the street to get to a bus when a semi heading east stopped to let him and 3 others cross. A car going west didn't stop and hit the child. 62-year-old Kathleen Finson was the driver. No word on if any charges will be filed.
With Election Day arriving in less than 24 hours, many locals are scrambling to make sure they have the proper identification to vote. But many do not know that you have an extra week to present your ID if you cast a set-aside ballot, meaning if you tried to vote early and were turned away because you didn't have proper identification, you should have been told about the set-aside vote. That's where you could cast your ballot right then and there, and then you have another week to present your new North Dakota ID to the Cass County auditors at the courthouse for your vote to count.
Typically, they still want whatever form of ID that you have, so that you can show that you are who you say you are, obviously.
And what do you do if you don't have any ID?
They'll still do a set-aside ballot, but then again, you still need to provide it at some point.
If you choose to cast a set-aside ballot, you have until the following Tuesday, November 13th at 10 a.m. to show your North Dakota ID. And you can find all this information on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story.
The newest numbers indicate that nearly 150,000 people have voted early in North Dakota, which is an indication that polls might be packed tomorrow for the midterm elections. You can cast your ballot from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Then we invite you to check in with Valley News Live on air and online for results as the numbers come in. There, of course, are a number of key issues and races we're following, including the tight race for U.S. Senate in North Dakota and the measure to legalize recreational marijuana in the state. Over on the Minnesota side, voters will pick a new governor. Moorhead voters are deciding a new mayor.
If you're heading to the polls tomorrow, it's good to know what you can and cannot do. State Election Director John Arnold says you can take ballot selfies, but he urges people to respect the privacy of those voting around you. People can also exit poll as long as they're outside the room where voting happens and inform voters that answering is voluntary. People cannot pass out political buttons and badges within 100 feet of the polling place. And they also cannot try to persuade voters within that distance.
Do you believe that spanking is a good form of discipline? Later on Valley News Live at 6, an alternative to consider with your children that experts say does more good.
Up next, it's that time of year. Time for you to start preparing your home for winter travel.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live. You're watching Valley News Live on KVLY, your hometown NBC station.
I was a deputy sheriff and police chief for 42 years, and I voted for the president. Unfortunately, Kevin Cramer must have misled the president on Heidi Heitkamp's record, which figures it's politics. Heidi voted 7 times for tougher border security and to arrest, imprison, and deport illegal immigrants who commit crimes. Heidi was a tough law and order attorney general, and we need to keep her in the Senate.
I'm Heidi Heitkamp, and I approve this message.
The future of medicine has arrived and is being practiced today at the Center for Pain Medicine. Regenerative injection therapy uses your stem cells and growth factors to repair damaged tissue, cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and even bone.
My knee was deteriorating and hurt every single day. One regenerative injection and I was pain-free, playing volleyball in 30 days.
Call and make an appointment today. No referral needed.
The top 5 ways Heidi Heitkamp's Gone Washington are on the board. Heitkamp supported amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. She voted against billions in assistance for veterans. Loudly supported Hillary Clinton for president. Opposed conservative judges. And Heitkamp supported sanctuary cities. Heidi Heitkamp. She's played the Washington game too long. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Our tax commissioner must keep our tax dollars safe and get them where they're needed. But with reckless Ryan Rauschenberger behind the wheel, there's no telling where our money ends up. I'm Kylie Overson. When I'm tax commissioner, I'll stop the waste and fraud. I'll get us on the road to lower property taxes, better funding for our schools, and a stronger economy.
Kylie Overson, the responsible choice.
Innovative Basement Systems, your basement and foundation specialists.
It's that time of year when many people travel south to get away from the winter cold. So Fargo police are reminding snowbirds of a few tips and tricks to help secure your home and keep the burglars away while you are away. They suggest you install motion sensor lights outdoors, especially in areas that are hidden and dark. Stacked mail, that's a sign that no one is home, so remember to stop your mail and newspaper services or arrange for a neighbor to grab your mail for you. Also, enlist a snow removal service or trusted neighbor to remove your snow. Piled up snow signals to burglars that no one is home. You can also install a home security system or a smart doorbell so you can be notified if someone has tried to enter your home. And of course, always double check locks on doors and windows.
Ozzy Osbourne's final global tour will make a stop in Minnesota this summer. The Xcel Energy Center has announced that the former Black Sabbath singer will bring his No More Tours 2 show to St. Paul on July 6th, with Megadeth performing as a special guest. Tickets for the summer show go on sale Friday on Ticketmaster.com. After the massive world tour, Ozzy still plans to perform individual shows.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, a good deed gone terribly wrong. Details on that and what you can do to avoid a similar situation.
And your Election Day forecast includes flakes of snow for many of us. Find out the timing on when it'll arrive in your area, how much you'll get. Today, close to average, but much colder weather is on the way. Your forecast is straight ahead.